us how you guys met.
You want to tell it this time?
No, go ahead.
Okay. About 5 years ago, I was doing some stupid stuff running through the yard, and I stepped on a 20-year-old nail. And I called my best friend Tony and asked him to please come and help me that I could not walk. It almost went all the way through my foot. And I'm not a girl that goes to the hospital. He was too busy and could not come. So he sent his best friend, Bo, who I'd never met before. Bo came and took care of me for 3 or 4 days. Took care of my uncle, cooked all my meals, wheeled me around, took care of my foot. It did everything that I needed to be done, never left my side, and has still never left my side. And I still have a hole in my foot, and Bo says that we were nailed together. Hey, come here. Just a good boy.
I first met Bo outside a barber shop in downtown Austin. He was barefoot and asking people for money to buy shoes. We realized we were the same size, and I was able to give him an old pair of shoes I had on. As I watched him walk away that day, I couldn't help but ask myself, how does someone become homeless? Is homelessness just due to drug or alcohol addictions or mental illness or just really bad luck? But most importantly, how could their family let them end up like this? I had scheduled to meet Bo and his wife Brooke under the bridge where they lived to do interviews. Immediately afterwards, we would load him up in the car and drive to South Carolina where his biological mother and sister lived in the hopes of finding out what went wrong or who or what was to blame. However, nothing quite went according to plan.
I told him we were going to meet at 5:30 under the bridge, and then we got there a little bit late. So I would assume we would have just stayed there unless, like, that homeless lady was right and they actually got, like, kicked out.
You know who Bo and Brooke are?
Like, they lived on the 6th Street Bridge.
Yeah, they came down, they put criminal trespass notice on up on the pillars, and they kicked everybody out of there.
I haven't seen them today.
They're my people. So if you found them before me, tell them we got them.
The next morning, we got a lead from one of their homeless friends that I had met the week earlier. This helped us to finally find them camped out by a shabby little dog park within the downtown area.
My story is kind of complicated. Whenever I was 4 years old, I got adopted into a family that was real abusive. When I was 8 years old, I guess I was smart enough to where I could actually say something about it, and I got taken out my house then. I grew up in foster families, some good, some bad. A lot of bumps and scrapes and bruises along the way. I got out when I was 18 and was at home for like 3 days, and I've been homeless ever since. When I first hit the streets, I was real desperate. I guess I was kind of lost. I didn't know what to do at 18. And so I went and I screwed my life up. I got real addicted to methamphetamines. I was real bad on crack. I was real bad on heroin. I spent 10 years running in and out of prison, and I spent the last 10 years trying to fix it. Pretty much started out in South Carolina, and down here washing windows, trying to get off the streets the right way. Trying to be optimistic and hope that tomorrow has something better than yesterday did.
I couldn't help but ask myself if it was all true. I needed to meet Bo's family and see what they had to say first. However, he quickly informed us that his feelings towards traveling had changed.
When we left South Carolina, I left with a small warrant for a $25 shoplifting charge. If I go to South Carolina and leave for this interview or whatever, there's a chance that I won't be able to come back to my wife here in Texas, so it's better for me to stay here.
So now I'm thinking, great. We are not only a day behind schedule, but we're now missing one of the most key elements of our trip, the homeless person himself. Bo invited us to go with them across town to where the homeless of Austin were given free lunch. We thought we might as well take what we can get and get some footage. But when we showed up with our cameras, we soon discovered that we weren't exactly welcome.
What the hell makes y'all think that people want cameras in their face? Really? I'm not a fucking clown show, and neither is anybody else out here. This ain't no fucking circus.
Yes, ma'am.
Some of these people want to be out here, they can stay out here. That's what they want. It's their choice. Some people out here because they ain't got no choice.
I understand that.
I don't think you do.
Look at his ass.
You're drunk, man.
That you're a faggot, motherfucking punk.
He's drunk, man.
I think sometimes with
what's he gonna do? Give you a thesis for your college, and that's it? I mean, is it gonna change anything? Is it gonna make a difference?
I mean, the goal would be to show people so they like know that you guys
Show
are
what
people too.
The
People
people
watching.
see it every day. You think they give a shit? I do my best every day to get up and look like a decent person while I'm homeless. And it's not easy. And it just makes me mad when people are in, you know, just like, ooh, look at the clown show, look at them, oh, we're freaks. But you know what we are? We're the children of God.
She was right. I didn't understand. I had gone and claimed to know a people group that I really only witnessed in passing. I didn't actually get what she was talking about. Maybe there was something more to it all than I had originally thought. So we said our goodbyes and hit the long road to South Carolina. Bo had given me his sister's phone number earlier so I could confirm that they would be willing to be on camera. I gave her a call as we were on our way and explained the new situation. Everything seemed to be panning out. Or maybe not.
Maybe you have to give it a little bit to charge sometimes. I think we should just wait for the morning.
We all had work and class in 2 days, and we were still 12 hours out. We weren't going to make it to South Carolina. We decided that we would have to attempt some sort of video chat if we wanted a chance to interview Bo's mother and sister. When I had told people about this documentary I was making, I found it very interesting how many of them seemed to have some sort of percentage of compassion for the homeless. But it seemed to always come along with an equal, if not greater, percentage of skepticism. I've heard people say that they don't give to the homeless because they believe that they would just be enabling them to buy more drugs or alcohol. I know I've always wondered things like, can they really, truly not get a job? The next morning, Bo and Brooke offered to tie their cart off and follow us into the downtown area to ask some more of these questions.
The biggest thing with homeless people as far as getting jobs and everything is pretty much just identification, IDs, state IDs, stuff like that.
Credentials.
Yeah.
Which once they've been stolen is almost impossible to get back, especially if you're in a state that you weren't born in. People walk past us and they say, hey, just get up and get a job. But you gotta have an ID and a social security card. And then you have to find an employer who is willing to employ someone who is homeless. Then you face the problem of, I can't take a shower today, I can't take a shower tomorrow, so day 4, I'm showing up at your establishment for work and I stink and you don't want me here. But I'm not gonna get a shower till I get my first paycheck, which is 2 weeks in. We're not making it to 2 weeks before you're telling me, I'm sorry, you can't come back here.
I want to be seen as the person that's homeless, washing windows, trying to get off the street. I don't want to be seen as, oh, that's just another homeless person on 6th Street that's a drunk or a drug addict, because I'm not like everybody else. But unfortunately, when you're homeless, you're automatically judged with everybody who's homeless.
We think that people should sponsor families. It doesn't mean hand them $10,000 and let them have everything they want. It means show up twice a week and have a conversation with them. Check on them. Bring them something to eat, some blankets, some clothes. Here's a little bit of extra cash to get you through for the next couple of days. Is there anything that you need that you can't get out here on the street that I can help you with? I'm not just a piece of dirty trash on the sidewalk. And more than your money, I want to exist. I would like for someone to say hello to me, someone to ask me how I am today. We do not want to be the undesirables that everyone wants to push aside so you don't see them. We're people. We come from real lives and real stories.
After we were done downtown, we left Bo and Brooke and gathered what we needed to do our final interviews with his family. When we arrived and began to set up our equipment, we could quickly tell that something was wrong with Bo. He explained to us that after we had done our interviews and they had come back home to the park, they discovered that all of what they had owned had been thrown away by the city's park cleanup process. Their blankets, pillows, clothes, dog food, books, and Bo's window washing equipment had all suddenly gone in an instant. We told them that we weren't going to force them to do the interview if they didn't want to, but Bo still wanted to go forward with it.
Trying to set this all up, and so I really appreciate you guys helping us out with this. It means a lot.
Whatever you need to ask, feel free.
I guess in the beginning, what happened and why did you have to give him up for adoption?
When Bo was born, I was 19. And it just, I don't know, it just seemed like I didn't have the money to do what I wanted to do for him.
Yeah. Have y'all tried, I guess, to, help him out and maybe get him off the streets?
He actually lived with us a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And it went good for a little while. And then he would stay gone a lot at night and then come in at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And she told him, she said, Bo, she said, this is the end of you staying with me. And ever since then, she's bought him a few pairs of shoes and a couple of jackets, but as far as giving him somewhere to stay, no.
Why did Bo become homeless, and why does he stay homeless?
To me, Bo just does not want the responsibility of day-to-day life.
What about you, Carrie?
With the choices that he's made in the past, as far as his record is concerned, it's hard for him to find any job.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it may have been when he was younger and when he wasn't as smart, and even if he's not making the same choices now, it's gotten him it's gotten him in such a predicament that he doesn't really have a way out of.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, there's one more thing I want to do. Little surprise for you guys. Okay, so just hold on. There's some people I want you to see, and here we go.
What are y'all doing?
Nothing much. What are you doing?
Enjoying life in Texas, washing windows and trying to make a life out of it. Not like I was in the apartment, Mother. I'm actually doing a lot better.
I'm glad.
I know.
I
know. How you been doing, Mama?
Bo hadn't seen his family in almost 3 years. And as they talked until my laptop's battery ran out, I felt like we may have finally come to understand what it was really all about. If I had never taken the time to talk to Bo outside that barbershop, and if I had just brushed him off when he approached me, I would have never have come to know him or Brooke. And I would have never learned so much about who they are or their culture or how I could help them. You see, Bo and Brooke are addicted to K2. It's a cheap synthetic marijuana that can have some very harmful side effects. If I had never stopped to look at Bo and talk to him, I would have never learned that all he and his wife needed was an inexpensive bottle of herbal detox and a pack of Benadryl to help them kick their addiction.
This changes people's lives.
I had come to realize that maybe it's not about finding who or what is to blame. Because honestly, when it comes down to it, it's probably an incalculable mix of circumstances and decisions that lead them to where they're at. It's not necessarily about just giving them money or providing another outreach. It's about taking the time to see someone as something more than their facade.
For the 5 years that I have known my husband, Bo, I have said on a regular basis, I wish one person would see you. Just see you. If one person would take the time to see you, they would take the time to stop and talk to you. If they do that, they will discover something amazing. That is what we want. More than anything in the world, just to be seen.
Now, I'm not saying that every homeless person is a saint or misunderstood, but what I am saying is that if we never take the time to stop and find out, we will never know. And maybe we will miss the opportunity to have an impact on their lives and for them to have an impact on ours. The homeless are human beings too, and every human being is a worthy investment.